So I'm in the woods in South Carolina, just walking along, having a good time. Really love nature. I was a Boy Scout. Got my Eagle Scout a decade or more back now, and I just always really loved hiking and camping, survivalism in general, you know. So one of the things that I wanted to do, talk a little bit about that, and just show one thing today, just a small objective, something that everybody should know, and that's how to start a fire. The basic idea behind that is that you start small and move big, right? So you start with what's called tinder, which is really anything that's smaller than your pinky. Collect that up, and we're talking things like really small sticks, something like that small by comparison with my pinky finger there, right? Or, you know, like any of the stuff on the ground right here, pine needles, pine cones, dried leaves, collecting it all up, about 2 hats worth tinder of this stuff, right? And collecting that all up and setting your area, making sure that you've got a good ring going, nothing else is flammable around there, that you're not going to start a whole forest on fire. And then after that, moving up slightly, collecting what's called kindling. And kindling is really anything that's slightly bigger than your finger and smaller than your wrist. And moving from there, developing around that into fuel, which is larger than your wrist. So again, idea is you can't just start a fire with something small, with something big. You have to start small and then move up to big stuff as far as flames go. So we're going to find a nice little area here. I'm going to clear it. Okay, so this is just for demonstration purposes here, right? But this is some of the dried pine needles around here, and this is going to be almost too easy. These things are going to go up quite nicely. I've got just a little bit of kindling back here. You can see that this is just slightly larger than my pinky finger, and moving all the way up to there to about wrist size is what you want to go for kindling. Anything bigger than that, you've already got fuel. Okay, so we're creating just a little kind of bed here that we can put our flame into, and I'm just going to be using diamond matches, strike anywhere type matches, and everybody should have matches on them whenever they're doing any kind of survival or camping. You never know what kind of situation you're going to run into, so it's always good to be prepared. So we're just going to watch this. It's just going to move together quite nicely there. So we've got her going just a little bit there. Alright, so once you've got your tinder going, you want to add your kindling. And generally in the Boy Scouts they taught how to do just a teepee kind of fire, where you add on over time to create just kind of a teepee shape. And those will start catching. We can move up to larger and larger as it goes on. But that's just generally how you start a fire. So you want to make sure you got a good bed. These the tinder down here and the kindling will eventually turn into coals, and that's basically what you're going to keep building your fire up off of.